Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the technical trader at detectrader.com. It's Thursday night, the 11th of February, and these are the charts of the day. Well, we've got some hell of a lot of volatility in Wall Street, and the gold and silver and oil back and forth, interest rate talk, and all kinds of stuff affecting this market. But the bottom line is the trend is still lower, even with the rallies we've had in the last couple of days at the end of the day, and then back down again. So look, let's take a look at this. I'm going to go over some gold stocks. I just want to show you where they're at so you can get an idea of how overbought they are short term. Starting off with low-priced AG, which is actually a silver stock, First Majestic Silver. It's already run from 238 to 416. It's about an 80% run up. Now there's resistance here. This is lateral resistance going back over a year and a double top prior. There's always a possibility if this momentum explodes, this could be up to 5, 5.25, 5.5. I don't think so. I think it's going to stall somewhere in this range, pull back and consolidate. At that point, we can keep an eye on that one. Let's look at some of the other golds. SPGL, the South African gold, has just gone ballistic. This started its run because of foreign exchange rates in the 4.5 range and has gotten to over 12.5. That's a triple, folks. And if you look at the long-term chart, you'll see there's resistance up here that we just broke through. This is basically new all-time highs. But can it, look, very few stocks, if ever, are going to be able to maintain this angle of ascent. It's now at the top of the channel, just like I was here and pull back, here and pull back. I suspect if we get any kind of strength in gold tomorrow morning, we should think about taking profits and stepping aside, at least short term. Silver, Wheaton is my favorite silver stock. And you can see the big drop this has had. Take a look. In 2011, the stock traded up in the high 40s. And it's dropped down to 10. The low on this spike here was 10.04. Recently, today I should say, 15.25, which is near the October high of 15.37. So there's resistance right up here. There's also a major declining top line coming in around there. So I would expect the stock to back off and consolidate and form a bigger base, or break out and run up towards 17 and then pull back towards this 15 range and consolidate. We'll have to keep pace and keep tabs on these. GFI. Another South African gold that's been running but also at resistance. Pan American Silver, one of the two biggest besides Silver Wheaton. This one has already taken out its declining tops line for the last year and a half, but the long-term trend shows that the major declining tops line, we still have a ways to go get up to there near the $10 range. Now, should it get up to 10, I would imagine it pulls back from that zone and consolidates, or it pulls back and consolidates in here and sets us up around the 7.5, 3/4 area. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with these gold and silvers. AU, another big spike up near resistance zone. I'd be careful on that one. One of the larger ones, Agnico Eagle, AEM. Now this one's taken out a major 5-year declining tops line channel, major waves down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves and a retest, double bottom. And then this is a breakout literally today on 6.7 million. Now, maybe it goes to 40, 42. Maybe it pulls back here and consolidate. What I would rather see on all of these is to be patient and wait for a better setup. Moving down to Nugget the ETF for gold, and we've been trading this great. Look at this move up. 17 on January the 19th, that's less than a month ago. The stock was 17.40. Today it reaches 54.80. I had a target in this zone. We've reached it. I'm not sure how much further we go. There's a bit of resistance right up here at 58.80. That could happen tomorrow. But anything in the high 50s, I'm going to pull back on. I just think we need to set up consolidation. We're going to get a major 5-wave move long term. This could be wave 1. Let's look for 2 and a setup to go for 3, 4, and 5. ABX, American Barrick, or should I say Barrick Gold now. Long-term trend line is right there. Resistance was taken out a few days ago. It spiked up to the next target zone. Extended as well. But look at the long-term chart and look at this long-term declining tops line. It's gone from nearly 60 down to 6, 90% loss. Big turnaround. Good volume in OBV. But I still look for pullback consolidation. You may see it run up towards 14 though. First. JNUG along with NUGT. This is a small cap, or should I say junior gold miners. It's ripped from 20.5 to 57, folks. with resistance and target up in the low 60s, say 62.34, maybe 65. If we do get any kind of extension, that would be a place to take profits. Gold Corp, GG, a huge move up. Again, these stocks have extended beyond belief, short term. The ideal setup would be for this to be a left shoulder complex, a head complex, and then form some sort of copper handle here. I could see it extend a little bit further up towards 17, but I'd be a seller into that. GDX, yet another. Newmont Mining. You can see the explosive moves on all of these. Little IAG. Kinross, KGC. AUI. All sharply up higher on a short-term basis. And Harmony. That's had a monster move from 53 cents to 275, more than fivefold. But there's a lot of resistance right up here. So even if they all extend over the next day or two, I'd be sellers into that for now. There are a few other stocks to look at. I also want us to look at the ultra shorts. TVIX had a big spike up today. And although it did back off, it closed a solid $1.40 or 12%. Now, it looks to me like the highs from September, when they spiked up to 14, may be tested if that happens short term, or even as high as 15.5, 3/4. But getting up in that zone, you're going to be a little bit extended. Now, the angle of ascent shows the possibility that if this really rips, we could see even 16 or 17, but I wouldn't get too carried away yet. We've seen this is extremely volatile, choppy stuff. TVX, and UVXY, very similar patterns. UVXY may be even a little stronger. It's already up in that resistance zone. And if it trends, connecting these tops, we're looking at low 70, maybe 71.2. Could be interesting. The FAZ for the financials has also been spiking like crazy. As you can see, a few examples: Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, etc., all coming down hard and fast. But they may be near important points, so the FAZ could be an extension mode that gets it up in that 70 range short term and then pulls back. Ultimately, if this angle of ascent is able to be kept, targeting mid to high 70s, even 80s, not out of the question. But again, when you've got momentum and you're extended, just don't know how far they're going to run. You must keep stops on all of these positions if you're going to trade them. Be prepared to take a quick loss. There were a few very individual stocks like CTL that had a big day today. I want to show you something. Here's a stock that traded in the 40s. It came all the way down to 22. It did it in a very nice, orderly, neat, what I would call falling channel. Here's your angle. And then it spiked up. It formed a little left shoulder head and a right shoulder here. Today was a very important day for it. It was up 11% on 15 million shares. It's the biggest volume I've seen on an update ever. And it could portend that today was a key breakout as it broke its major declining tops line. 50-day moving average. It's now above everything with the left shoulder, head, right shoulder, kind of inverse head and shoulders neckline. The move from here to there could get you in the some point up at least in that 31, 32 zone. That's my target on this one. And it pretty much covers most of what I wanted to discuss today. I think there's, let me just double check my list here real quickly. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me, folks. I wanted to go over the ultra shorts and the gold in particular. I think the oil had a difficult session today. Just a quick look at those. The USO, not looking very attractive to me, other than the fact that it bounced on big volume off the major channel bottom. The UCO looks similar. And the ERX as well. Both bounced off important levels, but this one was still on the downside today despite the move up in oil. So I'm not excited about it, but let's call it good for tonight, and tomorrow fasten your seatbelt. It may be a wild ride. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Good night.